Okay, so that was Alive and Well by Balance and Composure. I loved that guitar riff when I first heard it. And when I set out to learn it, I didn't think it was going to be as difficult as it was. But when I say the intro riff was really difficult for me, like it was really difficult because it's sort of a semi-clean tone. And those sliding parts on the high strings, it took me forever to get those slides to be clean sounding and not sloppy. And that was like the best take of them all. And I did a lot of takes of this song before I got to the point where I was able to finish the whole song. But anyway, so in this song, the tuning is down half a step from standard tuning. So I was in standard tuning and just used transpose here to go down one semitone. That'll be disabled in the preset when you get it. Or if you're watching and you're wondering why that's in there, that's so I didn't have to tune my guitar down. We've got a tube screamer in there with just slight overdrive, tone at 5, level at 7. I did actually try using the rodent drive in there, which is like modeled after the Proco Rat, but I found it just didn't give me the character that I was looking for with the amp that I'm using, so the tube screamer ended up winning out there. I'm not pushing it too much because it's not a metal tone, but it does have a little bit of bite when you get into it, so the level is just at 7. Now, I'm using a Fender style amp here. I'm using the twin vibrato amp. It just had the nicest sound of the other Fender amps that I tried. You could have tried the US Deluxe, the Fender Deluxe 65 reissue, which is one of my favorite amps, but this just kind of lent itself to the sound. And, you know, bands like Balance and Composure and whatnot tend to use these type of Fender amps for their sounds with pedals in front. The volume is pretty high at 7.5, just so we get that little bit of bite when we dig in. A little bit of bass, mid's left at 5. Added a bit of treble on there to give it a bit of brightness. Put the bright switch on to give it some brightness. And that's just the settings there. Any Fender amp would get you this sound. Didn't touch the mic placement. I found the default mics just worked really well. I did a high pass of 80 Hertz and then a low pass of 8,000 Hertz on the speaker cabinet, which just kind of cleans things up and obviously gets rid of some of that high-end hiss and unwanted frequencies that kind of make these clean sounds not sound clean, and it actually can make them sound digital, so that's why I do that on the cab usually. And then lastly, I've got a whole reverb here. I could have put down the mix a little bit lower, but I just wanted to give it a little bit of wideness and character, so that's why there's a reverb in there. You don't actually have to add a reverb, it'll sound just as good. And a note on this amp as well, you could get this sound using Vox style amps, so the Vox AC30 would also be a good option, the UKC30 normal or top boost. I'd probably use the normal and then put an amp in front of it. But yeah, that gets you the sound. I'm pretty happy with it. And as you can hear in the little demo, it doesn't sound too bad. The guitar I was using had single coil pickups in there, which I think helps. You could use humbuckers as well, but you might have to adjust some of these settings. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that and hopefully that was helpful.